Okay, so the establishing shot is your artist, singer in a recording studio with equipment around. That then progresses onto a close-up with the actual guitar being plugged into the amp, yes, so the signalling up to the audience that this is the actual performance shot. Then, am I reading it this way across?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you're coming up with the title of the song, so after he's plugged in. Is this him silent before the song started then?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to read
hear the
back.
sound of them not plugging it in.
Okay, so that's in silent, so you're almost like framing the actual video here. So those are framing shots. There's nothing here to tell me how long these last.
We haven't finished it. It's half done. So
Okay.
this is going to go for about 10 seconds, and then these are going to be like cinematics, and they go on for 15 seconds until the actual singing starts.
Okay, so in terms of watching the music video, as an audience, that's setting up the music video. This signals to me that the actual song, the track's about to start and the music video is about to start, yeah? And then I have this establishing shot, which looks like a path.
Wheat films.
So that's rural, is it?
Yeah, so I think we're going to have like a shot where we just want to, in the 16 seconds until the actual scene starts, we just want to have like the establishing of the location.
So is that the location where the narrative, the actual like the verses are going to be, the park setting?
Probably
and that?
want another shot because there's going to be multiple locations in the park.
Fine, and there will be. And actually, if you go to the park, you can track it from one side. There are these new paths that take you in and then through the woods into the main park itself. So there's lots of potential for that. So that's establishing. There's nobody on that path though. Is that just?
Yeah, it's just going to be empty for now because it's going to show. It's going to show the progression of the character. So right, because he's going to be walking through the area after the music video, but it starts.
So we've got the title of the song, then we're establishing the mise en scène of the park, the isolation, not the character there. Then we're back into performance.
Yeah,
Is that back into the studio? Did he start singing there?
Yeah, and then as he starts singing, it goes on to the first shot.
Okay. So is this still? Are you still thinking of, as you were saying earlier, that the shots in the park are going to be the verses and the performance shots the chorus?
Yeah, so we're thinking for the chorus we're going to have like the performance shots and also shots in his room kind of showing his anger, destroying things. So it's kind of like he destroying a pillar in a glass.
Okay, so it's almost like we're going to kind of get reverse, a sort of flashback as to why he is how he is. So we've got the studio shot, then we're in the park, then we're following this character. So we've gone from a studio to the park to a shop.
Yeah, so he's just walking, as he's leaving the house, he's walking to the road and then enters a shop. And then,
so this isn't the park then?
no.
So they're surely they're not in the right order then, isn't he? Aren't we showing a journey?
Yeah, but I don't know he's not supposed to enter the park straight away. He just enters out on the road and then, because the shop is really close.
So we see him leaving his house, he goes to the shop and then he's going to go to the park with some booze. So we're kind of, as an audience, we're thinking that he's buying some alcohol.
Yeah, he reaches the park at the end of the first verse.
Okay. Crossing the road, it's the A4, it's massive. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Still on the way to the park. So that's the one that's a bit of a misguidance there. Okay. So then he's crossing the road. So then he goes into the park. You've got the grandeur of the park itself. We're showing him isolated compared to couples, and presumably there'll be more of that throughout. Then we're back to a performance shot.
So this is at 0:53, which is when the actual chorus starts.
Okay. All right, so there's going to be a performance focus there. Then we're back to him feeling angry. Where's he doing that then? The bad light. So this is his room. So this is his temper. This is showing his distraught, his emotional distress at presumably the breakup of some kind. Then we're back to performance shot. So then we're back to chorus here, and that was the actual verse. Yeah. So we're into the actual performance shot of the chorus. Then we're back to the verse. We're back in the park. Him isolated, lonely, yes. Seeing other happy people, couples around, people with company. He's isolated. So the onus is on him being isolated here and feeling lonely.
There is like the bridge area.
Yeah.
He's
okay. Down. Lovely. And then we're going back to repeat the chorus and more back to performance shots. You mean? So when you embed this in your animatic, you'll go back to the actual performance frames that you've got outlined. Yes, that you'll include there.
And there's like a 1 minute guitar solo in the song, so we're just planning on having like a pan around him in the actual like theatre, kind of performing to like an empty audience, I guess. Is more
Okay, that will need rehearsal. The minute's a long time on film. So if it's basically one man and his guitar in an empty theatre, yeah, you're going to have to think about ways to make that interesting, engaging.
Yeah, and also like switch to the actual like destroying more things. I guess.
Yeah. Okay. But you need to know. That's the point. This is. I can see the oversight here, but it's still a little bit vague in terms of how you're going to have those 3 minutes, every frame thought of technically, and how you're going to maximise your, BAOs and getting into those top levels ideally. Stone.
It's just another silent shot, so it goes back to it actually before, as the last verse ends, and it goes back to him actually seeing a person, so it's seeing like hope, I guess, at the end.
Okay.
The music's already finished, you get like the ambient sound in the background.
Okay. Would that frame be better with that frame?
I just thought that maybe as he sits down and cuts the chorus and it only comes back at the end.
Okay.
Maybe we could just add that together.
Well, you can see during editing, I guess, as well, can't you? Obviously, when you do your shot list, you'll be filming everything from the bridge together, won't you, to see where it goes. So in effect, it's a break-up song. It's quite a slow song in terms of what you play, but it does have distinct verses and chorus. So your focus is going to be the chorus as performance and the verses in the park, but you're also framing it with shots before the song cut in, before the lyrics cut in. And then you're going to end it on a note of hope. Yeah, I can see all of that, and I could see it work well. It's undeveloped. At the moment, I mean, given that you're hoping to actually film it, I think on a storyboard, having a shot that could last a minute is, you've got to think it through. But you need to use your labour more here and divide up a little bit. Somebody could actually be in the hall now practicing that and seeing, set the timer, see how long a minute lasts, because it's a remarkable amount of time when you're filming, not when you're living. But do you see what I mean? Sort of to look at that more closely. There's still, what I'd be concerned about with this is that there's too much that you're just going to turn up the camera and see how it pans out. You've got to get in there and get really, really technical in terms of thinking about those level 4 marks. If you're aiming for an A's in this, if you're hoping to get that, then you've got to sort of demonstrate real technical skills in terms of composition and framing. I think your mise en scène you've thought of in terms of the park. There's some elements of like all everything the park has to offer there. But you can tighten it up even more. But at least I get the oversight, which is good.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think to develop that into an animatic, for example, would be hard.
Yeah, we also need to develop that last minute of the song. It's just, I think, we're probably going to have just 25 minutes of just a guitar solo.
Okay. Which is fine, but again, you just need to show like lots of different, to show then, that you'd have like a close-up of, this guitar and different angles. So when you see, you're not filming on Friday, are you? You see Miss Millen on Friday, don't you? So why don't you think for Miss Millen, by the time you come into that lesson, that you've done the extra frames here, now you've got the oversight that works. And I don't know how you can divide it up in terms of different people doing different things, but you definitely need to get extra frames in there. Have you already put it on your board, on your logs? Perfect, put that in, and then this is your audience feedback. So after your audience feedback, you've developed it further. That's a good thing, it's a positive thing. And then you can develop that on Friday into actually making it into the animatic to see how that fits your timing of your track. All right? Yeah, good. Those of you, if you want to